Hi, everyone. It is Carol from Lily Rose Blue. I wanted to thank everybody again for your overwhelming and gracious support. We are now up to 104 subscribers. So thank you again very, very much. Um, Kathleen Moore, I don't know if I have given you a shout out yet or not, but if I haven't, I am so sorry. But now I am. Kathleen Moore, thank you so much for being a subscriber. And then for sure, I know that Susan Heiner is a new subscriber. So thank you, Susan, for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. And again, you guys have sent me some wonderful, inspiring, loving, and caring messages. I just can't say thank you enough. I don't, I can't even begin to even speak about it because there were so many and I'll get choked up and that won't be good for any of us. So, I just won't even start, but just please know I've tried very, very hard to respond to each and every one of you. Please know that I so appreciate that. I thought I would hop on quickly and show you something that I got. I think you guys know that I am very interested in the 40s and World War II information or ephemera from there. My father was a soldier in World War II. He was in the, he was in the army, but come to find out later, he was in the intelligence group and actually impersonated Dwight Eisenhower. Yeah. And I will try to find, next time I hop on, I will, I should have had it at hand and didn't think about it. A picture of my dad. And I think you can see if, not super close up, but I think you could see there is a resemblance, or there would be a resemblance from far away. They're built the same height, same shape of face, kind of the same lips, and if you put a hat and a pipe and glasses on, oh yeah, you could see that. And, being a kid and not really understanding how talking about the war could be traumatizing to soldiers, I pestered him and pestered him and pestered him. And one time I remember he just quickly wrote down, signed Dwight D. Eisenhower. And he said, go look it up. And of course, this was before the internet. And I did. And perfect copy of Eisenhower's signature. So, that was part of what he had to do, right? So one of these days, I do travel to DC, usually a couple times a year, at least for work. I'm going to go out a day early and go to the National Archives and look up more information about my dad that should hopefully be declassified now. Because I think there's a lot more there than meets the eye. And interestingly enough, I remember as a kid getting phone calls at home, and the people would ask for Duke, which was my dad's nickname in the Army, and me being of suspicious nature, maybe you would say. When he came back, when he left, he was a plumber. When he came back, he was a postmaster, which is a federal job, right? So I kind of think that was on purpose. I think maybe he was still kind of working for the federal government for quite a while afterwards. So that's the story I've made up in my mind. Who knows if I'm right. But I got off of eBay. There's 21 letters here. This is correspondence from a soldier, Private Luigi Favretto. who was in Camp Croft, South Carolina. So, Meg, is that? I think you're in South Carolina, right? Is that anywhere near you? Spartansburg, South Carolina. And Private Luigi Favretto was from Vineland, New Jersey. And I'll open one up. They pretty much kind of say the same thing. Kind of, well, I'm sorry. Now this was very interesting. This was a letter to the families, to the family of the men at Camp Croft. A new soldier has just arrived safely at Camp Croft. This soldier of yours is now beginning a 4-month basic period of training in the infantry, a fine and important arm of the service. He has a lot to learn in the 17 weeks, and most of his time will be spent in training. It is possible he won't have the opportunity to write as often or as much as he would prefer, but he will be anxious for mail from home, and lots of it. And then it gives the address of where to send the mail. There are certain facts and situations pertaining to families of servicemen that you should know and remember. Men under training are not granted furloughs or leaves except in an emergency, and then only after verification of the emergency. Therefore, if death or other serious emergency occurs, telephone the local office of the Red Cross at the same time you notify your absent serviceman. In doing so, this may eliminate any delay in his return home if the emergency warrants this temporary release from duty. If you are troubled with legal problems, remember that competent protection is available to you. Go immediately to your local legal aid society or the office of your district attorney for advice on your problem. Federal aid is provided under the Federal Maternity Assistance Plan for wives of servicemen who are expectant mothers. Any recognized hospital in your community or your local Red Cross chapter will provide full details of this plan. Please be advised that families of trainees should not move their residence to this area unless it is deemed absolutely necessary. Reasons for this are numerous. Housing conditions are totally inadequate. Employment for civilians is difficult to obtain, and the trainee must remain on the post all but a few hours of each week. We earnestly discourage you moving to this vicinity for your own protection from this inevitable hardship that occurs. Finally, help to preserve the safety of your own serviceman by not repeating anything you may learn regarding installations, equipment, or shipment of men to or from this camp. Remember, his safety may depend on your silence. Cordially yours, John H. Hester, Major General, USA, commanding. That was very interesting to me. I remember seeing letters at my grandparents' home in which my dad wrote, and pretty much you couldn't even read the letter because it had been censored so much. Imagine being the person who had to cut out. It wasn't marked through, it was literally cut out. Just crazy. So this is what the letters look like. And again, I said they're pretty much all the same. So I'm just going to summarize. He says, "Are you all feeling good? I'm good. The food here is good. Don't worry about me. Thank you for the cake. Send peppers," whatever the peppers were. And he talks about how he shares the food that he gets with his fellow soldiers. And that's, honestly, pretty much all 20 of the letters say the same thing, which was admittedly a little bit of a disappointment, I guess, for me. I was hoping for, maybe some more juicy tidbits, as they say, but still, I'm glad I have these. Once in a while, he talks about going into town. One time they went into Charlotte, or Charlottesville. I can't remember if they said Charlotte or Charlottesville. now my Charlottesville, right? South Carolina. Sorry. I think that's right. I think that's my geography, or lack thereof, shining through. So that was this. I got these yesterday. So then I was scrapbooking last weekend with my friends. I did a lot of cutting out of books for ephemera packs. My friend Isla has a heavy duty paper cutter. And so once I free the covers of the books, then I would go through, you could cut 10, 12 pieces of paper at once, to make a nice clean edge. So I did that for all Friday night and most of Saturday. I really didn't make anything. I think I made one card. I made an anniversary card for my kids. Other than that, I don't think I made anything. I cut books apart. And I did, though, on the Cricut, do some cutouts. So, I'm supposed to be working on a wreath journal. So I made several different, now, of course, the ones that are coming to the surface are the same, but different wreath cutouts on the Cricut. I'm sure I drove my fellow scrapbookers crazy because the Cricut ran the whole gosh darn time. Here's an oval shape, which I thought was really fun. Here's this shape. And, I don't need this many for that wreath journal. And in fact, I think I'm going to make 2 because it's just part of my problem. There's a heart shape is that I just go full bore and really, and then I get overwhelmed because it's so big and it's such a big job. I just need to scale it down a bit. Oops, there's one ripped a little bit, but that can be glued and be fixed. And I made some smaller versions. So yeah, I think I could make at least 2 and maybe 3 wreath journals, honestly. I don't think there's anything much. Then I love to use these on any kind of paper craft that I'm doing. I call them twigs or leaf. And again, there's a gazillion different designs that you can choose. Here's a different one. I don't have these sorted, so bear with me. Here's another design. This is a smaller version. Here's a larger version. Like if you're scrapbooking, this makes a great background for a scrapbook layout. Would not be complete without a horse. What else do I have in here? Look at this. A horse with its rider. I just love this. I love it. I love it. Some borders that you could use on a card or a layout. There's a snowflake. I just have all kinds of things. Baby deer. A different kind of leaf. And yet another different kind of leaf. I have die cuts as well. And I use those too. And so some of these are some trees. Some of these are die cuts that I did. They're just in the same. There is a buck. Here's another one with different antlers. As you guys know, I like deer. Here's a different wreath shape, and yet a different wreath shape, and yet a different wreath shape. So here's my pile. I was busy. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I drove my fellow scrapbookers crazy. But it was something, and I could get this set up and have it cut multiple images while I was cutting pages out of books too, or yeah, pretty much. So felt like I was working efficiently, at least. So that's all I wanted to show you, and I wanted to welcome those new subscribers. Thank you so much. Please hit like, hit subscribe, comment if you would like. Don't forget to comment on my 100 subscriber video, because next Sunday, a week from today on April 2nd, I will be doing a random generated pick the winner from those people who have commented on that video. And it's going to be a super cool, curated, huge ephemera pack. Huge. I just keep adding to it. In fact, I think I'm going to have to look at it and maybe even par it down because it's just, I've gotten a little out of hand. Imagine that. I have that tendency. So again, I will wrap it up. I have cards to make that are timely, that I absolutely need to get done. I need to keep working on ephemera packs. And, it would be nice to get back to some journaling, to making some journals, right? So thank you again for watching. Take care. Happy spring. And I hope that it is spring in your area. I've seen beautiful pictures from the south as far as springtime. I've got a brother and a cousin that live down in Georgia, and they're posting wonderful pictures on Facebook. Also, take a moment out and send good thoughts and prayers to the people of Mississippi. And I think Alabama was impacted somewhat too from those horrible tornadoes. Living in Iowa, we have tornadoes here too. It's awful. They are awful. And what the images and videos that I've seen from Mississippi, it looks just horrible devastation, and I feel for them. So thank you for that. Thank you again for watching, and you have a good rest of your day and have a great week. Bye-bye.